All right, let's get to the highlight. Full highlight. Game 2, an important one, obviously, for the Timberwolves, not wanting to go down 0-2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander getting his MVP award. Well-deserved. Pretty cool scene, right? Real cool scene before the game. This was bizarre also before this. As the game started, basically. Scott Foster.
He took one.
Yeah, from Lou Dortz, right to the face.
I think he took one.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I like Scott Foster. He's one of my favorite referees. I mean, he reminds me a lot of old Earl Strom. You know when you got him on the game, you're going to get a good whistle.
Hey, stuck in the game. SGA.
Oh, that's tough right there. That's work.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to Anthony Edwards.
Don't know nothing about that post-up game.
Oh, that's with the left hand. More aggressive.
And no doubt about it. To make the free throw, tying it at 45. Back to the MVP we go.
Mm-hmm. See that little bump?
That big guard work.
Both Ant-Man and Shai just going back and forth. Edwards finishing with 32 in the game. Called it. 8-point game at the break. Julius Randle in this one struggling.
He did. He's had such an unbelievable playoffs.
Finished 2 of 11 in this game. Just 6 points. Didn't play down the stretch. Then SGA going off the bank.
Now that's with the left hand as well.
A little more defense like you guys were talking about. Chet Holmgren.
Okay, Chet. Ooh.
The landing didn't look all that great, but the finish was nice. And at this point, OKC just running away with it.
Watch this one. Chet giving a little like, okay.
You like this technical, though, right? Like,
I know. I like this take.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's into it.
Jalen Williams was outstanding all game.
Separation.
A little later on, Jaden McDaniels going to push SGA.
He looked frustrated.
Yeah.
He gets a flagrant 1 for that. Back to OKC with some defense.
Give me that. That's that. Like,
Missed there. Williams, 26, 10, and 5 in this game.
That's beautiful right there. He's shifting gears on that one.
SGA finishing 12 of 21, 13 of 15 from the line. An efficient 38 points. Jalen Williams going for 26. After the game, they spoke to Lisa Salter.
I'm going to start with you, J-Dub. Just, you guys opened it up in the third quarter. Like, how do those runs, those Thunder avalanches, how do they happen?
By playing hard on the defensive end, that's where it starts for us. And just trusting that the game's going to have its ups and downs. We just got to stick with it.
Shai, how can you tell when you're just deflating your opponent when you guys go on one of those runs?
Yeah, it feels good. It starts with getting stops, though. It always does. We get stops. We're able to play fast, play to our strengths, play in the open court, and be special.
What impressed you about this guy tonight?
Yeah, he's nothing that I haven't seen all season long, but he's so versatile out there. On the ball, off the ball, offensively. On the ball, off the ball, defensively. He rebounded his butt off tonight. There's nothing this kid can't do on a basketball court, and the world's seen it on the biggest stage in the world.
You guys are going to Minneapolis, up 2 games to none. Anthony Edwards got his tonight, but you guys really kept Julius Randle in check. What's going to be the key in Game 3 at their place?
Yeah, we got to do a better job on Ant. They're going to have a bunch of energy in the building, at home. It's a very good crowd over there. They're going to be into the game. We got to bring the fight early if we want to give ourselves a chance.
All right. Congrats on the win tonight, guys.
Thank you.
All right, speaking of Minnesota, let's hear from Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden, the third quarter's kind of been an issue both games for you guys. Are you seeing anything coming out of the half? Or it seemed like the first couple minutes of the half wasn't
turnovers?
Third quarter has just been the issue. Have you seen any consistencies between the two of why the game got away both times there?
I'll say probably the turnovers and then just holding them to one shot. They got a bunch of 50-50 balls, offensive rebounds, and they was just getting multiple possessions with the ball, more possessions than we did.
You shot the ball really well tonight. A lot of others didn't. Is there something with their defense that makes it difficult on these threes? You think it's just been a couple poor shooting nights?
I'll say it's just poor shooting nights. I'll say they kind of short closing a little bit, so we just got to not think twice and just let it fly, really, and just be confident in what we do.
Jen, from just a big picture standpoint, down 0-2, going homeless, what's kind of the mentality after 2 tough losses here?
We got to be desperate. Every possession counts, matters. Every game, everything matters. So you just got to be super desperate and just play smart while we are.
On the flagrant with Shai, was there just a little frustration blowing over? Or what kind of?
I just wanted to foul him for. I wasn't even mad. I just had fouls to use.
How did in the fourth quarter you guys did start to get back into it a little bit? What do you think you found there that you can build on going forward?
Probably just getting the ball out of Shai's hands early, and then when we did get the rebound, just not waiting, just everybody running and just attacking the gaps that they give us and being aggressive. I feel like we start the game that way. I feel like we can, give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Julius has been so good for you guys all playoffs. A little rough night tonight. How do you kind of withstand that when he's just not having one of his usual nights here?
More of us just got to step up. He's one of our top players, so if he's not doing well, other guys, we just got to come in and contribute and really just fill the absence. But, I'm not stressing off it. Drew, I see him work out every day and put the work in, so the nights happen, like last night. He had a great game, so it just happens.
The formula.
All right, let's hear from the MVP now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai, you obviously had that wonderful moment last night with your teammates. What did it feel like for you to be out there at midcourt and receiving that award and then to go out and play the way you did?
Yeah, it felt really good. I feel like my emotions were so high that I was a little bit tired out there, especially to start. I was a little too juiced up. But yeah, special moment. I'm happy we won so I can really enjoy the last couple of days and soak it all up. That really helps. But yeah, shout out to the team. Played well again tonight and heading to Minnesota up 2-0.
Shai over here in the corner, Malika Andrews, ESPN. It seems like all season long, this team's spirit, no matter the run, never breaks. And yet 3 minutes before the game, you're celebrating. And then 3 minutes later, you're completely locked into this opponent. Starting with you, how do you balance that fun with keeping this serious goal in mind?
Yeah, we just prioritize what matters. And we've come to realize that you win games and all that other stuff comes after. And it's, you guys saw it last night with myself and Lou and Dub today getting recognition. When you win games and you do it together and you have fun out there, everything else, all the individual stuff you want, it comes with it. But it starts with taking care of business on a basketball court, and we know that.
Shai, congratulations. I remember in the bubble, just you and Chris Paul being joined at the hip. You kind of taking everything as a sponge. From your arrival here and joining forces with him in the bubble to now, how would you describe your relationship? What has he meant to you? It's kind of like a big boy, big brother, mentor, all and above. It was just, and in addition, what did it mean for you that he arrived tonight? Yeah, he has been great. Like you said, not only like a big brother, mentor, but just like a friend. He's always there to lean on. He was the first guy in my life that I was close with that achieved the things that I wanted to achieve. And I really leaned on him for advice and not only basketball advice, business advice, taking care of your body advice, handling a family, when they don't live with you. There's so many things that you deal with as an NBA player, especially of his caliber that go under the radar. And, his guidance with that has been great. And like I said, not only as all the mentorship and stuff, but just being there as a friend, he's been special. And his attendance tonight. Oh yeah, that was amazing. Caught me off guard. I had to double take. I was like, who's that sitting with my wife? I got a little tight, but then I seen it was Chris. I was like, all right, cool.
Shai, you talked about those emotions early, just sort of almost wearing you down before the game even starts. Did you focus on anything particular to try to kind of get through that initial stretch of time? And then just overall with what you did individually tonight, what were you most pleased with?
Yeah, early I just wanted to lean on my teammates. Like, I thought about, like, coming out and, like, forcing the first couple shots. But I was like, nah, it's probably not the way to go. I wanted to just let the game come to me. Like I said, lean on my teammates, play through them, play off of them. I think my first basket was like a back cut from Hart. So, like, I just didn't want to force the issue, let the game come to me. And then, yeah, I'm pleased with the way we guarded tonight. We held them to 100 points, I think. And obviously they're a really good offense. So, yeah, we did the job defensively.
Andrew Schleck with The Athletic. J-Dub had 11 in the fourth quarter. You know, what did you see from him offensively and defensively tonight?
Yeah, stepping into his own, being confident, making big-time plays. I think we had they were cutting back into the lead, and they had like a fast break. He got a steal and then an and one. That was like a huge play for the last couple of minutes. He's just coming into his own. And I knew this would happen. He's a great player, works hard, does the right things, and when you do that, good things happen for you.
It was about 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. You had 8 points, and then you went on like a little bit of a run at the end. You had like an assist, a fadeaway over DiVincenzo, a three, a couple of free throws. You had like 11 points in like the last 4.5 minutes. Was that conscious where you saw something or you felt like you want to be more assertive or whatever? Help you guys get an 8-point lead.
Yeah, not at all. I honestly just was out there playing basketball. Try to be aggressive, take my spots, try to make the right play. That's all that was. It wasn't intentional at all. Just try to close the half the right way. Closing quarters is so important, especially in close games and later in the season, the closer the game. So just want to take advantage of those moments.
Yeah, Shai, you've seen Lou put in the work year after year after year. He's been underappreciated year after year after year. What does it mean to you to see him finally get all defense first team?
Yeah, so happy for him. Nothing's made me happier this year in terms of our team. Like, Lou's been what he's been this year, his whole career, and for him to finally get the recognition that he deserves is very special. And it's more impressive that he just stuck with it throughout not getting it and just doing what's better for the team. He diminished his role a couple years ago to do what's better for the team. He's just such a team first guy and puts that above all. To see him finally get some individual recognition for his hard work is very special.
Shai, how hard is it? I know you take one game at a time, but these games are coming fast and furious right now. How hard is it to not look at it and go, we're 6 wins from an NBA title?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. All season long, we've got into a habit and built the muscle of just focusing on the next game and worrying about what's in front of us. And it's no different in this situation. We're aware of where we are in the season, but we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we kind of veer from what got us here, and that's what we prioritize.
Shai, you once mentioned my whole life is consistent. When you think about the younger teenage Shai, how proud of you are of that younger Shai that got you to that point of hoisting up the trophy tonight?
Yeah, I'm very proud. I'm glad he never gave up. I'm glad he listened to the right people, and I'm glad for those people giving me that advice that they did throughout the years. They know who they are, and I'm very appreciative.
Shai, you guys have really seized command of both of these games in the third quarter. What are you seeing come out of halftime that's put you guys in position to really overwhelm them in those quarters?
Yeah, we haven't been great. We were terrible coming out of half in the last series, and that's just been an emphasis of ours. We have to, no matter what's going on in the first half, we have to start this half the right way, and we've done a pretty good job of it the last 2 games. It's going to be very important on the road in their environment, their comfort zone. We got to push it forward.
Yeah, Shai, when you think about people asking you about Chris and 2020, the bubble year and all that, does that seem like forever ago and all that you and this team's been through? How do you sort of, from a perspective, rationalize all those things?
Yeah, a little bit of both. It feels like it was a long time ago. but it also doesn't feel like it was 5-6 years ago. It's kind of in between. But yeah, it's the journey. It's been fun. It went by faster than I thought, but also it's like 5-6 years ago. Wow. So yeah, I don't know. It's a whirlwind. When I'm done my career, I'll look back and reminisce on everything.
Shai, the other night you talked about your wife, Haley, and how much she's meant in sort of your journey and your path to this point. What does it mean to raise an MVP and score 38 in the conference finals and a pair of shoes and a colorway named after her?
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm glad I played well in her colorway for sure. She'd be mad at me if I played bad. But she deserves it. She's been my rock throughout this whole journey from when I was a kid till now. One of those silent forces that doesn't get the recognition, and she deserves the world. I'll do everything I can to give it to her.
We can go one last one to Jenny. Right here in the front. Last question to Jenny.
Shai, the run you guys put on there in the third quarter, it feels like Minnesota sort of is caving is probably the wrong word, but just sort of sensing the momentum that you guys have. Are you feeling that as they sort of react to what you guys are doing at all?
Yeah, you can feel it. You feel like what happens is like you feel us like string together stops. That's what's like encouraging, and I think that's what's made us really good. Like our team really enjoys like playing defense and finds it very fun. And when we score, stop, like the stops is what gets us going. We can play faster, we play confident, and we're out there running and just hooping. But yeah, us enjoying getting stops is definitely the key to that.
Thank you, Shai.
All right, so that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander after OKC taking a 2-0 series lead. More Playoff Central Live coming up. All right, taking a look at the series schedule, now shifting over to Minnesota for games 3 and 4. Game 3 getting going on Saturday at 8:30 Eastern. And Smitty, if Minnesota has any chance to come back and get back in this series, they got to take care of this third quarter problem.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you look at the third quarter coming out of halftime, it just hasn't been any energy, hasn't been any life. And then it seems like OKC turns up their adjustments defensively. They make shots. But I think also for Minnesota, they're not being physical enough. I mean, obviously they have some big guys and some 7-footers, but I thought they could with Julius Randle and Naz Reid just to be a little bit more physical. And then they got to figure out a way old school. I like that they put Anthony Edwards on the block. Yeah. Julius Randle needs to get on the block, collapse the defense from inside, kick out. And then they got to defend better. And they got to find a way. It might be, hey, let's just double Shai. Because right now, single coverage is not getting it done with him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They gotta find a way to eliminate or slow Shai down. And what OKC has found a way to do is take one of Minnesota's main scorers out of game 1 or game 2. When you're looking at Edwards in game 1, he was kind of out of it. Tonight, you're looking at Julius Randle. They take him out of the game. Minnesota's got to find a way offensively in game 3 to get both of those guys going.
Yeah, it was interesting after game 1, Chris Finch was like, we need to get Julius Randle more shots. He was 9 of 13 in that game, didn't have many shots in the second half. In this game, just 2 of 11. Didn't play him down the stretch. This is a crazy stat, though. This is the 60th time this year, so regular season and playoffs included, that OKC has won by double digits.
Yeah,
that is dominance.
That is dominance, because what you're looking at, they played only about 100 games, right? Maybe total, maybe less, probably less. And then this has been phenomenal to have 60 double-digit wins.
Again, I'm gonna go back to, I know the defense that I'm watching, and we won the NCAA tournament, and we won every game by double digits. Mm-hmm. Our closest final game against North Carolina, we won by 13 points. But the way OKC's defense is set up, philosophically, it reminds me of a Bob Knight old school defense, where you're not going to beat this defense playing one-on-one basketball and jacking up threes. You're going to have to be a little bit more innovative in your offense to try to get some scores. But if you're just thinking you're going to beat them one-on-one and shooting threes, good luck.
Yeah, that's what they need right now, the Timberwolves. They need a little bit of luck right now, some adjustments, also a little bit of luck.
And you know, 2 games usually when you're down 2, but the way they've lost these games could take away some confidence.
Right. Again, Game 3 going on Saturday. Playoff Central Live will be back tomorrow after the Knicks and Pacers, which should be fantastic. We'll see you then.